Today we're going to talk about 3 alternative exercises that you can do besides a lunge. This is more so looking at the people that have knee pain when they're lunging, the ones that need to be weight bearing but can't do the load that is tolerated whenever they're doing a lunge. This is for you. If you want to just add other exercises that include the muscles that a lunge does, this is also for you. Let's pop into number 1. Number 1 is a back raised hip thrust. This exercise is great for adding in the posterior chain work that we need to, or the load that we need to add to that area. Now, you're thinking lunges don't necessarily add a ton of posterior weight. They're more so focused on the quad. Well, we need both of those. And a lot of times if you have knee issues, then you need to add in this component to help you to achieve your lunge better. It's also adding you into a kind of loaded zone when your knee is bent, which is a harder time or harder way to add load to you. And so this kind of back raised hip thrust allows you to do it. The key within this is that you're not arching and kind of moving and bending at your back with it. You're making sure that it's a hip hinge type movement. And so as you're rotating, your back is going to rotate with you because it's straight. You're keeping it nice and straight. You're keeping that core nice and strong and on, and you're making sure you're pushing your hips or your butt up through your butt, basically, through your glutes. This allows you to put pressure and weight through your feet and load your knee in those different ways. Again, this is all adding different load and making sure that you can do this properly without pain. And so it should be pain-free. This is a great exercise to even add load to it. Put some weight on your hips. You can use whatever you have around the house, or you can use different weights that you have at the gym, adding a plate onto it, doing with a bar across your hips. Those are great ways to add load to this hip thrust. Number two is kind of a modified lunge. This is where you're sitting on a chair. You have one foot that's back, one foot that's forward, and then you are standing up and forward, basically doing a lunge. But you're not going all the way down to the floor. You're getting a break point at the lowest part of the lunge, which is the most load that you have on your legs. This gives you that off weight, that offset, so you can achieve this type of unilateral movement, which is great. Why we do lunges too, is because we can load one side comparatively to the other. This also works your quads. It works on your ability to hinge and then stand up. I prefer lunges that hinge a little bit more because it adds a little bit more load to your glutes. This allows you to use your lower body a little bit more unified together. If you keep a more upright trunk in your lunge, you're going to be using more of your quads. And so you can feel the difference in the lunge here when you have more of a hip hinge versus more of an upright trunk, even as you're using the chair to help support you. Both are great options, just one focuses on one way, one focuses on the other. If you have knee pain, you'll probably like doing a hip hinge type lunge versus a straight up and down trunk lunge because it puts a little bit less load on your knee. And then you can work towards doing it more upright to add more load to your quads. Finally, we look at kind of a split. There's one that I like that is the Bulgarian split squat. It adds even a little bit more load, but you have the back foot to support you as you're going into this single leg support. Or you can break this down even more and just do a wall sit. I know this is 4 exercises instead of 3. I have a really hard time limiting myself. And so the Bulgarian split squat allows that unilateral movement, that control. This is whenever you are thinking about your hip hinge again, you are driving up and forward through the posterior chain, through your glutes, and you're also straightening your knee. When you're doing this, you have your back foot on a support. And so you can push a little bit with that to help give you a little bit of boost and offload off the front foot. That's why it makes it a little bit different than just having a reverse lunge. You're also not going down quite as far because your back foot is up. It's supporting. And so you can't go all the way down to the floor with your back knee due to that fact. Now going into your wall sit, you can change the angle of your knees, make sure, as I said, you can load it, and also you can make sure that you are getting that longevity, that endurance, and the strength with different angles of knee bending, knee flexion. This will help you to load your knee and to almost acclimatize your brain to the fact that I can do this and it's not damaging or hurtful to my knee. And you can slowly work towards a lower degree or lower part of your butt on the wall, increasing your degree of angle of your knee flexion. I hope these short, simple ways of explaining these exercises is helpful to you. If you have any questions, pop them in the comments below. If you are a woman mountain biker and you're looking for a workout program to follow, check out the link in the description below, and you'll see a link to the Ride Life team. Right now I'm running a free trial on that, and you can pop into it, see if it's good for you, and it can help you with getting stronger hips and a stronger core. Cheers, y'all.